Every trader says the same thing after blowing an account. This time will be different. This time I'll follow all the rules, but let's be honest, most of us don't. We keep revenge trading, forcing entries, moving stops, and jumping to a new strategy. And it's not because the setups don't work, it's because our brains aren't wired for trading. They're wired for survival, and that survival instinct destroys traders. That's why in this video, I want to go deeper than charts or strategies. I'm going to share with you the 5 most powerful lessons I have learned in my own journey. From writing over 1,000 pages of trade journals, to passing challenges, to getting $700,000 funded, and finally hitting 6 figures payout across multiple profits. If you're here because you have lost money trading forex, crypto, stocks, whatever, then this might be the most important video you have ever watched. Because without mastering psychology, no strategy in the world will save you. My name is Zaha, and on this channel we share everything from trading setups to getting funded. But today it's all about the mental game that keeps you profitable. Let's get into it. Here's probably what you are doing. You open the charts, you see price moving, and you jump into a trade. No plan, no checklist, just emotion. At first, it looks good. You're in a profit, but instead of taking the trade out, you think it's going to keep going. Then the market reverses you. You hold on, waiting for break even. It keeps dropping. You hold on more, and before you even know it, account blow. Sounds familiar? One emotional entry turns into a bad exit, which eventually turns into moving your stop loss, which turns into doubling down, and which eventually ends in a margin call. This isn't rare. This is the story of 95% of traders. But here's the brutal truth. In that moment, you weren't trading. You were gambling. You were reacting to impulses, not executing a system. It's the same mentality as the person at the casino who thinks one more spin and I'll get it all back. Every time you hit buy or sell without a plan, you're basically walking into a casino, throwing your chips on a random roulette and hoping for the best. Of course, you might win once or twice, but over time, the house always wins. In trading, the market is the house. The market is designed to push emotional traders. Think about it. Those huge spikes you chase, that's liquidity. That's the market teasing you in, dangling quick profits, and only to reverse the moment you click buy. And you fall for it because you're not following rules, you're following hope. And the worst part, you know it while you're doing it. Deep down you can hear the voice. This isn't a setup, this isn't a plan, you are over leveraging, you are chasing, but you just ignore it. You convince yourself this one time will be different. That maybe luck will save you. That's how traders blow accounts after accounts, not because they don't know strategies, but because they refuse to admit that they are gambling. They mistake random trading for professional trading, and until you break that cycle, until you realize trading is a rule-based game, not an emotional one, you stay in the 95%. So why does this keep happening? Why do traders, smart, hardworking people keep repeating that destructive cycle? It comes down to one thing: psychology. See, money in the market isn't just the money. It feels like identity. When you risk $500 on a trade, it's not just $500. Your brain twists into something deeper. If I win, I'm smart, skilled, or even maybe talented. But if I lose, I'm a fraud, idiot, and not cut off for this. That's why every tick in the wrong direction feels like personal attack. Our brains aren't designed for trading. They have been hardwired for over millions of years to keep us alive, fight or run when danger appears. Survival mode. Instead of cutting losses, we hold. Instead of staying patient, we chase. Instead of sticking to rules, we fight back. Because our brains scream, you must survive, you can't lose. And here's the crazy part. Emotions themselves and the enemy. Stress, fear, nerves, those are normal when money is at stake. The problem is that most traders try to fight emotions with willpower alone. Thinking they need to be pretending emotionless while you're randomly clicking buy and sell is delusion. The professionals don't suppress emotion. They build systems that make emotions irrelevant. When you have tested your strategy across hundreds of trades, when you know your edge, you don't need to gamble on intuition. You already know the probabilities. That's what gives professionals conviction. That's why they can risk $5,000 on a trade and stay calm, while others sweat over $50. But here's the trap. In the early stages, traders confuse random success with real skill. You win a few trades by luck and suddenly think, I've cracked it, I'm gifted, and this is easy. Then the market humbles you. That's where most people quit or double down on emotional trading instead of stepping back and building a real process. This is why the market chews up 90% of traders. Not because the strategies don't work, but because the market is a mirror reflecting back your psychology. If you're undisciplined, greedy, or desperate, it will expose you every single time. Here's the truth. Trading isn't about sitting in front of charts all day, clicking buttons and hoping to catch a move. You're not paid for screen time. You're paid for decisions. One well-executed trade with proper rules and risk management is worth more than 10 random emotional entries. But most traders don't think like that. They obsess over passing the fanatic challenge or securing their first payout. Every decision becomes about the short-term goal. I only need $500 left to pass this account. I only need one good setup today. And that mindset forces you into bad habits. Chasing setups that don't fit your plan, forcing trades in low quality conditions, and over leveraging just to hit that one number. This is why so many accounts blow up in a spiral of bad trades. You're thinking about the payout, not the process. You're thinking about finishing fast instead of building habits that will keep you consistent for years. Think about golf for a second. A great golfer isn't just good at one thing. They don't just crash drives off the tee, they've got a balanced game, pattern, short games, long irons, everything. Trading was the same way. You need a rounded game, patience, risk management, conviction, and defense. Some days your job is to attack and capitalize, other days is to defend and preserve capital. This is where most traders fail. They think trading is only about taking trades, but sometimes the most professional thing you can do is not trade. When the market is choppy at all-time highs or not showing clear opportunities, that's when you should trade less, lower your size, or sit out entirely. Because trading is not about constant action, it's about recognizing when conditions are high probabilities and when they are not. When your goals shift from pass this challenge now to build habits that will keep me consistent for years, everything changes. The market stops being a slot machine and starts being a training ground. Every trade you take, every journal entry you write becomes a rep in building a discipline that actually gets you funded and makes you profitable. So what actually separates the 10% of consistent traders from the 90% who blow accounts? It's not intelligence. It's not about finding some secret indicator. It's about habits. Reputable rule-based habits. Rule number 1, rule-based trading. Don't trade impulses, use a checklist. If your conditions are met, don't enter. Just no exceptions. Rule number 2, risk management. Risk small, aim for bigger returns. You can afford losing streaks and still come out ahead. Number 3, don't overtrade. More trades don't mean more money. Focus on fewer markets, fewer setups, and simplify. Number 4, no revenge trading. If you're emotional, shut it down. One $2,000 loss can easily turn into $15,000 loss if you try to win it back. Number 5, longevity mindset. Think long-term, patient, discipline. That's what keeps you alive years into trading. So what's the difference between the 90% and the 10%? It's not massive. The gap is actually very small, but it's everything. Most traders are either gambling or running on half a system. Professionals aren't doing anything magical. They're just doing boring things right over and over again. They journal, they backtest, they know their edge works. They don't panic during losing streaks because the data already show them what to expect. Amateurs on the other hand, panic switch. One loss, they think the strategy is broken. 2 loss, they try for a new indicator. 3 loss, they jump strategies entirely. That's chaos, not trading. The truth is, trading is less about talent and more about strip emotions out of the game. Write down rules and follow them. Risk the same percentage every trade. Keep your focus simple. Step away when emotions take over. Treat every trade as practice, not life or death. This is the boring work most people won't do. That's why they fail. They want payouts without habits, success without systems, freedom without discipline. But professional knows longevity beats quick wins. You're not trying to pass one challenge. You're building consistency that pays for years. Every day you trade with discipline, every journal entry, every patient decision, that's you closing the gap between the 90% and the 10%. That's when trading stops being a gamble and starts being professional. That's when you stop blowing accounts and start building a future. So most traders fail not because they don't know strategies, but because they don't master themselves. Psychology is the real edge. If you can stay disciplined, journal every move, and treat every trade as a rep, that's when you move from gambling to becoming a professional. If this video gives you value, drop a comment below your biggest psychology struggle. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because on this channel, we are not just talking about strategy, we are building traders who get funded and stay funded. At the end of the day, the market rewards patience, discipline, and process. You can either keep blowing accounts or you can make the shift today. The choice is yours. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.